In my dream it was very dark, and what dim light there was seemed to be radiating from Edward's skin. I couldn't see his face, just his back as he walked away from me, leaving me in the blackness, no matter how fast I ran. You know what, to hell with this. I don't need this book, get its filthy dust-bitten pages out of my face. This is one of those non-chapters, a filler if you will, where absolutely nothing of importance happens. So, as to not waste either my time or yours, I'll give you a quick rundown so that we'll all be up to speed for chapter 5. In summary, Bella dreams about Edward and she wakes up feeling uneasy. Gee, I wonder why? Don't worry, Edward will admit his breaking and entering habits in due time. She is the center of attention because of the accident in chapter 3. Like she wasn't already the center of attention? Mike, Eric and Tyler act like dogs, metaphorically peeing on Bella's legs to mark her as their own territory. Seriously, in real life people don't act this way. Edward is no longer talking to Bella and it gives her the depression. Oh my, Bella's depressed. Big shocker there. Edward gives her a funny look and she realizes that her fixation on him is unhealthy. This is probably the first and only time in the book that her thought processes function like a normal human beings. Then he starts talking to her again. He tells her they shouldn't be friends. She doesn't seem to know why. Then they both act like dicks to each other. Then we find out that Bella's ancient truck sent Tyler's van to the scrapyard, even though his van was the one that attacked her truck. Mike, Eric and Tyler all ask her to the girls' choice dance. Stephanie Meyer, stop contradicting yourself. Edward almost makes her wreck her car and then laughs about it. He is proving to everyone what a dick he is. Then she goes home and makes dinner. While she does this, she acknowledges her boring, dull traits as a pathetic excuse for a fictional character and imaginary human being, thus creating a parallel between her right as boring, dull traits as an actual human being who is so unsatisfied with her own life that she creates fictional versions of herself to role-play as a damsel in distress who can then be rescued and fought over by the overblown, unrealistic phantoms her sick twisted mind creates just so she can feel a little self-satisfaction. Then she uses about 20 adjectives to describe Edward that are completely inaccurate. She missed the part about him being a complete asshole. The next day he steals her car keys. She doesn't seem bothered by this. Again Stephanie Meyer is contradicting herself because Edward just said 2 pages ago that the two of them being friends was not a good idea. Then, since she kept telling everyone who was asking her to go to the dance that she was going to skip town for the day, Edward asks if she wants a ride. She seems confused. Here's the situation. Do you want a ride to Seattle? That's Edward talking. With who? I asked, mystified. Myself, obviously. He enunciated every syllable as if he were talking to someone mentally handicapped. It's just way too easy. Do I really need to point out the innumerable amount of jokes that could be made from this one last simple statement? By the way, it is more than likely offensive to most mentally handicapped people. Fuck you, Stephanie Meyer. Then he confuses this poor brain-damaged girl even more when he says, I said it would be better if we weren't friends, not that I didn't want to be. Then she forgets how to breathe when he tries to glamour her. Oops, wrong vampire series. And the idiot accepts his invitation. Holy shit, this book is such a fucking waste of time. Who the hell allowed this trash to get published? This is not the way people act in real fucking life. And what the fuck, Stephanie Meyer, you are such a god-awful writer. No, that is not how you book. Get a damn clue, you vapid, unworldly, simple-minded, fat-ass, worthless piece of trash. You can't even keep your own lack of a story straight. Fucking amateur. Excuse me, I am calm now. That's about all you need to know for this chapter, as, like I said before, absolutely nothing interesting happens. Consequently, if you would like to read a version of Twilight that is much more interesting and is about real vampires, not to mention, is written with a highly advanced vocabulary and actual knowledge of how the English language works, click the link in the description below.